Hey guys, welcome to Tips and Tricks. When shooting video, slider shots are an extremely powerful tool to add production value to your scene. Check out this short film with some interesting slider shots. And action. And cut! Beautiful. These shots you just saw give unique perspectives and can tell a story, giving a better sense of three-dimensional space versus a simple panning camera movement. All you need is obviously a slider, a tripod or monopod in some cases, your camera, and last but not least, some creativity. Here are the slider techniques that we use to get your creative juices flowing. The first trick highlights objects above, providing perspective from a lower vantage point. For this angle, we're gonna place our slider directly on the ground. We're going to flip our camera plate as well, so we can mount our camera facing up. Now put your slider next to an object and a ceiling or a sky that is visually appealing. This creates a nice sense of depth in your shot. Our next trick is going to be an arc reveal shot, going from a tight to a medium shot, or vice versa. We're going to accomplish this by sliding forward or backwards with our camera and having the slider angle moving up or down, just like a seesaw. Remember those? We're going to start by attaching our camera plate to the slider and attach it to our tripod. We're going to unlock the tilt on our head, supporting our slider. We'll start with the slider position angle down while we slide backwards, slowly tilting the slider up as the camera moves. You can also reverse this shot and do the opposite way if it calls for it. For this trick, we're going to get a slider shot very close to our surface, providing great depth and giving us another very unique shooting angle. For this setup, we're going to lay down some apple boxes and position our slider upside down to get the camera lens as low as possible. It's like limbo with video. If you don't have any apple boxes, you can use anything of the same height. Just make sure you have enough height so that your camera isn't touching your surface, or obviously it won't work. Your shot is going to be upside down, but this can easily be fixed in post-production, giving you another great shot. For this next technique, we're going to do an angled slider shot. This works well for establishing shots to add a different perspective. We're going to start by attaching our camera plate to the slider and attach it to our tripod. Next, we're going to tilt our slider to a 45-degree angle. Now, to get a level shot, we're going to make sure our camera is parallel with the ground. And voila. Our next tip, we're going to be doing a slider overhead shot. This shot works great for establishing tabletop shots or any shot where you need to see an overhead angle with movement. Put your slider on 2 light stands. Make sure your camera angle is shooting down. Now raise the light stands as high as you'd like. Just make sure everything is secure. This is where motion control comes in really handy. An external monitor will be a necessity to view your shot while you operate your slider remotely. Why don't I have an overhead shot going right now? We could be sliding, I'd be talking to it, just like this. Our last technique we're going to show you is a slider Steadicam shot. This shot works well around a corner, through a doorway, or chasing an unknown boxer in Philadelphia up a staircase. It's a dynamic shot with a panning motion combined with a slide to follow your subject. For this setup, we're mounting one side of our slider on a light stand with sandbags to weigh it down, and the other side on a monopod, which will give you a handle to maneuver your shot. As our subject moves through the scene, we can use one hand to lift the monopod, which maneuvers the slider angle, and one hand to control the slider motion and head. Same thing I did when I was chasing Rocky up that staircase. Hopefully these slider tricks will inspire you to come up with some of your own creative slider techniques. That's it for this edition of Benro Tips and Tricks. Thanks for watching.